Hello, this is James Cook, your professor for CommSoc 375, Social Networks, and we are going to go through homework number 5, step by step, very quickly. It's 16 steps, I know, but I think we should be able to complete it relatively quickly. What we're going to do is we're going to Google UCINET. You're going to see UCINET software is one that you can download. I just clicked on that. I'm going to hit download over here. Okay, and you'll see that there is a link called UCINET Setup. It is stored in a Dropbox location that makes some users suspicious. It also makes Norton suspicious on occasion, as you will see. I'm going to right-click to save the target, and I'm going to save it in my download section, UCINET Setup. Now it's telling me down at the bottom that it couldn't be verified. It's going to analyze it, and it's going to be upset about this. I'm going to view the details. The reason it's upset about this is because it's using Dropbox software. If you're using Norton, you're going to need to look at options, such as to restore it. It's going to say, yes, you want to restore this risk to your computer. It's because it's from a Dropbox, but it's a fine piece of software, so I'm going to restore it. And then it should be in downloads. Now I'm going to hit the Windows key and E in order to bring up this box, which allows me to go to Downloads on the left, and I see UCINET set up there. Okay, I'm going to double click on it. It's going to ask me if I want to install it, and I will. And then it's going to install. Now, I may speed up this part of the video just so you aren't too bored. But it should be a pretty typical installation. I'll hit next. I want to just keep going through. Anyone who uses this, it's not taking long at all, as you can see. You can slow down and look and see all these pieces if you'd like to. Look, I can run UCINET now. I'm already then on step 2. Now, the next step, step 3, is to find the data files and documentation folders for UCINET on your computer. I've just installed it on my computer. I'm going to hit that Windows key and E again to bring up the System Explorer. And I'm going to click on C, which is the name of my computer's hard drive. I'm going to look on Program Files x86, and I'll see Analytic Technologies. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. Let's go back. Analytic Technologies. There's data files, there's documentation. For your computer, it might be on a slightly different location. It might be in a place called C, Program Files. Okay? Look around. Look for Analytic Technologies. You can also type in Analytic Technologies for information on different files, or you can hit the Windows key and type in UCINET, and boom, you will find the icon there. Okay, but always you can go to C Program Files or Program Files x86, and you will be able to find data files, documentation, and the icon to start UCINET 6. Let's open UCINET again. Okay. We're going to read the Quick Start Guide in the documentation folder. You go ahead and do that. There's the Quick Start Guide right there. Okay, so do that. Then follow the instructions in the Quick Start Guide, completing all the exercises along the way to familiarize yourself with UCINET. After you're done reading that and trying all the exercises, making sure it works for your computer, then you'll be ready for step 6. Return to UCINET and click on the spreadsheet button here, or by hitting Data, Data Editors, Matrix Editor, right here. Either way, you will start up the spreadsheet editor. Now when this starts up, you'll see that there are just a number of boxes. The first row and the first column are there for you to insert your column labels. Now I have a need to enter network data for myself, and I hit Tab to go over my wife Tracy, my son Noah, my daughter Tess, my mother Margaret, my father Clifford. This is step 1. Then I'm going to put the same information in the first column. Now for family relations, which is what we're talking about today, these are necessarily reciprocated. If we have a parent-child relationship from James to Margaret and James to Clifford, using tabs to get through, and I can also just jump around and click. I'm putting in ones to indicate that there is a tie. Then they necessarily are happening from Margaret to James and from Clifford to James. We say that the sender of the tie is in the row. So James, I say here, is married to Tracy. Tracy, I say here, is married to James. James, the recipient, is the column. James is also tied to Noah and Tess. Noah and Tess are tied to James as well. That's step 1. Those are my first distance family ties. Now, what do I say about the next step? Okay, well, let's start with Tracy. Who does Tracy have relationships? She is the parent of, Noah and Tess. Tess and Noah have a relationship with her. That's parent to child. Tracy herself is also married. That's to me. And Tracy has a mother and a father. Kathy and Numeriano. Now, I am not tied to them through that relationship, but Tracy is. So I'm putting ones there. Finally, next I'm going to think about Noah and Tess. They aren't married, they don't have children, and they don't have partners. So then I move on to Margaret. Margaret has other children. There she is, she's online. And they are Jonathan and Theodore. So I'm going to include those. And they are also the children of Clifford. So I'll include them there. And then I'm going to go over here and do the equivalent. Okay. Now Clifford has parents, and I do not know their names. Okay. So they're going to be called grandparent 1 and grandparent 2. I don't know their names. Okay. But they are the fathers of Clifford and the mother of Clifford. And so I'm going to enter them there. Now there's my mother. My mother has parents, and those are named George and Gladys. George. I'm making sure to put these in the same order, and I'm going to type those in. So she is tied to people. Parent-child relation there. Parent-child relation there. Okay, so now I've gone out to distance 2. For myself, I'm going to stop at distance 2 to make this video short, but then you can see how you would... let's see, I think that is complete. Yes, yes, yes. But you can see how this will work. You can continue to go out in many rows and as many columns as you need. Okay, this is how you're going to create it in a matrix. Now, once I'm done, I have a lot of zeros. I'm going to hold down on the left button and then drag across to select all of these. Actually, I'll start from here because I don't want to fill that corner box there. I want to fill with zeros, up to fill, and fill blanks with zeros, and boom. Now I have an adjacency matrix. I want to save it. I'm going to save as. I'm going to make sure to go to Data Files, and I'm going to name it something. A short name, James Family Network. Okay. Again, you're going to go out one more distance, as you did for homework number 2, and you should already have that information written down in a Word document, but now it is a UCINET spreadsheet. Good. I have now gone to step 8. Let's exit the spreadsheet editor. Step 9. Okay. I'm going to go to Data, Display, select the matrix file I've just used, which I go by going over to these 3 dots, and I'm browsing, and I think I called it James Family Network. You can select either one of these, the number D or number H, open, and hit OK. There it is. Now, you have listed here your file. It has listed the matrix. It's in a simple text format. So what can you do here? Select all the text by hitting Edit, select All, and then copying it, Edit, Copy. Now, opening a word processing program, such as Microsoft Word, here we are, I then will paste it in, and I do that by heading over here to Paste. Okay, now I have a handy-dandy matrix all put in. It looks ugly. What can I do to make it less ugly? I can select a standard fixed width font, like Courier New. First of all, I'm going to go down and find it, Courier New. Okay, and then the second thing I can do is that I can go to Page Layout, and I can change the orientation to landscape. Is this going to possibly be a little bit of an ugly thing in your word processing document? Yes, that's fine, but I want to see the evidence all the way down here and including your output generated file with a time and date stamp. I want to see the evidence that you've gone through in UCINET and created your matrix. I want to see the proof that you've done this step. And that's why it's being stuck in there. Now, return to the main UCINET program. Okay, let's do that. Where is UCINET? There it is. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to select the, hit the Net Draw button to start Net Draw. See that button there? That's Net Draw. Or I could have hit Visualize, then Net Draw. Now I'm going to select File, Open UCINET dataset and network. Now I'm going to open a data file. What data file am I going to open? You guessed it. I'm going to look for James Family Network. And again, this is in that folder that you found, the one that says data files, because that's where we saved it. And I'm going to select either one, the number D or number H. It doesn't matter. Now let's see what else did I ask you to do. I'm actually looking at the instructions right here. I selected it, and then I'm going to hit OK. There it is! Okay, we have an instant sociogram, a network graph, in other words. This is great. Okay, you should be able to do each of these steps just like this. And if they don't work for you, it's an indication that something's going wrong. Try a few different things to fix it. If it doesn't work at that point, give me an email. Shoot me off a message and we'll work through it together. Or let's do that hangout next week, right? That's a great way to do it because then I can see what you're doing on screen in real time. Okay? So you should see step 13, a sociogram on the screen. That sociogram I'm reading can be arranged or visualized, seen in many ways. Try the following options under the layout menu. First of all, a circular layout. Circle. Oh, let's just order it by doesn't matter which, right? We're just going to hit apply. And there it is, in a circle. Now, okay, that's an oval. Why is it an oval? It's because I have an oblong menu. If I went like this, and I shortened it down here, whoo, it's a circle. Okay? Look at that. Let's do another one. Oh, I'm supposed to, for each of these, go to Edit and copy. This is step 14. So I copied, and then I'm going down in Microsoft Word, and I'm making sure my cursor is down at the bottom, and I'm pasting that in. Okay? And then I'm hitting Enter to put it down at the bottom. Now I'm using Alt-Tab to go back to UCINET, and I'm going to do Layout Random. Oh, well, that's an ugly thing, but no fear. I'm going to copy it anyway. Okay, you can also, let's see, Edit, Copy. I'm going to go down here, and I am going to hit Control-V to paste. Boom, random, hit Return. Okay, now I'm going to go to Layout, Spring Embedding, Graph Theoretic. Oh, that sounds spiffy, doesn't it? Spring Embedding. Even though it's fall, we can run this. Okay, and I'm just going to hit OK. Now, what did Spring Embedding do? It made ties that are close to one another, that is connected close to one another, and if there are multiple connections, right, it tries to put those kind of in between. So you notice Theodore and Jonathan are connected between Margaret and Clifford up near the top. Well, they appear in between. George, on the other hand, is only connected to one person and not to me, so they end up off at the side. Which starts to make some sense, right? It's graph theoretic. There's an idea, a theory behind it, as opposed to just a circle or just random. I'm going to copy that. Each one is telling a different story. And that's kind of what I want you to appreciate here. Right? These sociograms each seem to be telling a different story with their graphic arrangement. Now I'm going to go back down here at the bottom. I'm going to paste in. Okay. Now, there is a step 15 that says consider stuff, but I'm going to go back to step 14 implied. Write your name at the top. Okay, you can put in a date too if you want. That way, it's always good to have your name on there. I'm going back down to the bottom. And I'm going to post some consideration about which of those sociograms best represents the relationship in my matrix. And I'll write a paragraph or two on this. It's really up to you to describe. But I'd like you to think about, at this point, which of those is the most faithful representation of your family network. Which one's easiest to read? Which one is junk? Consider, compare, contrast. Now you have, insert thoughts here. Those are your own. Save this. I'm going to save this. Right? In my documents place, I'm going to call it James Family Network. I have my Word document. Boom. There it is. It's saved. Now just post this file up on the Blackboard assignments page. Okay? It's that easy. It wasn't that hard. We just went through 16 steps in a few minutes, and I hope you can do the same. Here's my strong suggestion. Don't wait until Monday, September 24th. Okay? Don't wait until the last minute. Work on this now. See if you can do it now. And if there are any problems, do a few standard things like shutting down UCINET, starting it again, shut down your computer, restart it, see if that helps. And if it doesn't, get in touch with me and we'll work through this together. Okay? We won't have time to do that if you're working on it at the last minute. So I hope those 16 steps don't seem like too much for you to do now. And good luck. Thanks.